This is the study guide for Algebra A, Test 1 of Quarter 4. These are the last three problems you'll see on that front side of the study guide, which I like to call the practice test. So always do this practice test and check the answers, see how we do. Well, here we're going to add some fractions together, and since the denominators are already the same, we can go ahead and add. So you just write this as one fraction, 3m squared plus 11m squared all over 8. Common mistake is people end up adding the denominators, but that's not what we're doing when we're adding fractions. We're actually counting up the number of parts. The parts are on the top of the fraction. The whole is on the bottom. So 8 is a whole. And so what we have on top is a 3m squared and an 11m squared. And then we're adding those two together. And that gives us a 14m squared. Remember, when we add terms, we're just changing the coefficient. That's the number out in front of the variable. From this point, we can go ahead and cancel out that common factor. So 2 goes into both these numbers. So I'm dividing each of them by 2. This 14 changes to a 7, and the 8 changes to a 4. So what we've got left is a 7m squared all over a 4. That is our answer. Next problem does not have common denominators, and we cannot just multiply by -1 because the denominators are different. This is 2 more than x, this is 2 less than x. So I need to multiply this side by an x plus 2 over an x plus 2. This side here needs an x minus 2 over an x minus 2. So when I do this, notice that I've got two binomials. I've got to use the FOIL method when I'm multiplying those. So what I've got left here is an x squared plus 1x minus 2x minus 2. So I did the first, the outside, the inside, and the last terms. Over on this side, I multiply the 3 over the x. I get a 3x. 3 over the 2, I get a 6. And down below that, I just have that factor of x minus 2 and an x plus 2. Well, from this point, just go ahead and collect some like terms there. So let's see here. We have an x squared, so we'll write that first. Count up how many x's you got. You got -1 here plus 3. So -1 plus 3 makes 2 x's. And we count up those constants. -2 and 6 makes +4. Well, that doesn't factor, and that's okay. Just leave it like that. And then you just rewrite the denominator, x plus 2, x minus 2. There is our answer. Well, the next one, since it's a subtraction problem, what I'm going to do first is add the opposite. Notice how I'm changing both signs there. Now I've got to come up with that common denominator, so I'm going to multiply the right side by 3x, the left side by an x minus 2. Well, I have the same situation on the top of the fraction again. You see, I've got to use the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last. So I'll do that again for you. X squared are the first terms. Outside are 3x. Then I move to the -2 and the x. Those I call the inside terms. And -2 and 3 make a -6. On this side, I got to distribute this 3x over this addition, really, because they're the same sign. Makes a -6x. Let me fix that. Got the -6x because 2 times 3 makes 6. It's a negative, and then we just have the x squared, actually. X times x makes the x squared. And then we have a 3x times -1 makes the -3x. And then down below, you just have the two factors there, 3x times by x minus 2. Well, we can go ahead and collect some like terms. It looks like the x squareds here are going to combine together as 1, so -5x squared. Combine some x's, it looks like these two x's will cancel out, -3, +3, so we're just left with the -2x, and we have ourselves a -6. And then down below we've got the common factors, or the factors of 3x and x minus 2. And there's our answer. So that's as far as we'll take the problem there. Couldn't factor the denominator, and even if we could, or numerator, if we could, it doesn't have a factor of x minus 2, so just leave it the way it is. Well, those are the problems you'll see on this week's test. Good luck.